Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the New York webinar. Let me say Happy New Year to all of you. I haven't seen some of you as yet, so a very, very Happy New Year. I hope this year becomes very successful for every one of you. As a matter of fact, that is our goal for this year. Our goal for this year is to make every trader in our group successful. So far, the goals we had for last year, we actually fulfilled them. We make them happen. One of such goals we had was to make a trading room effective. Our trading room is actually working 24/7. We originally wanted to work 24/5. That is from Monday to Friday. But I've seen traders in there on Saturdays and Sundays practicing, opening the room and practicing. Good work. So it's been working very well. That is to get everybody involved. Some of our traders have been extremely successful. You guys know them. I've posted some of them out. I've shared the link, like Victor. I've shared his link in the room before. If you want, you can check my YouTube webinars. You're going to see his link. I've managed to start posting these free webinars on YouTube, which we didn't do the last time. So you can all get them there now. And this year, a lot of people have been asking me, for a site. I really didn't, I had no intention of opening a site, but because there's so many people who wants the information and they don't use Skype or they don't use something else to get it. So now eventually I may be considering, I still don't think it's effective, I may be considering opening a website, but I don't see the use for a website because we have a YouTube channel. We have TradingView. All the information you need is on TradingView, right? It will be only a duplicate of TradingView if I open a website. Because the charts I post on TradingView, I'll be posting on the website. So it's a duplicate. It wouldn't make any sense, right? The only thing it will give you is information about the trading group we have, right? And that is not, there's no need for that. You can always Skype me and get it. And in any case, you still have to Skype me to talk to me to be in our group, right? You have to do that because I don't allow anybody to access the group without me assessing that they're ready for it. So somebody asked a question, what are the criteria to get into the group? One is you have to have about a year experience. Number two, you have to have money to trade. And before I start the webinar, let me just explain who we are, what we do. We are a group of traders, most of them very professional traders. I mean professional in the way they're trading for a living. What I do is I train these guys. They pay for the course, the 6 weeks training course, and then they get lifetime free access to a trading group that we have, a trading room that we have, right? That is where they all get together any time of the day and they trade. They literally look at the charts for trade setups that we would have seen before. What I also do is 2 daily webinars. That is in the London Open 8 a.m. and in the New York Open 8 a.m. I do 2 webinars. So the traders can see what I see. I show them what I see in the charts. The webinars are not the trading group. So what I am giving you guys access to today is the webinar that I normally do daily. 2 daily webinars. For this entire week, you would have access to the 2 daily webinars we do. What do I do in that webinar? Is I look through. If you look at the side here, you will see the list of charts we have here. I would go through every single one of them. It will take me about 40 minutes. Today, it's going to take me about an hour or hour and a half because I will go through more detailed. It's the first webinar for you guys for the year. Tomorrow, it will take us about 50 minutes. And after that, for the rest of the week, it will take us about 30, 40 minutes to go through that. At the end of it, I will allow you to ask questions. Normally, in my group, my traders could stop me anywhere in the webinar because the microphone is open. And they can ask me questions. Like I said, okay, I think this is a buy setup, and I will show them why. I'll show them the reasons why based on our strategy and our analysis, why I think it's a buy. Well, they don't need to ask me where to enter and where to put stops because they know the strategy, right? You guys may not know it, so just listen carefully what we are going to do. Sit in, enjoy the ride, and you would see what we do in our room. So I showed them the trade. And then they get into the trading room. If the trade is active while we are doing the webinar, we will take the trade. If it is not an active trade, you will wait until they get into the trading room and they will trade it. Which means when I close this webinar, all my traders goes into the trading room. You guys would not have access to that trading room. You have to know the strategy. You have to know how we analyze charts to be in there, which means you have to be a member of the group. But you will have access to the webinars that I do. So let me repeat that. The webinars that I do, the 2 daily webinars, not the trading room. We don't always take active trade in this room. If the trade is active, we do. If it is not, we go into the trading room and wait for the setup to happen, and then we take the trade. Right? So that is what you guys are going to get access to, the 2 daily webinars I do. Let's move on. I'll start the webinar right now. Once more, Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for visiting us. Thanks for coming into the webinar, and let's start. We always start with a dollar index. The reason I start with a dollar index is I want to see what the dollar index is doing structurally, right? And then from there, we will move on. For those of you who are absolutely new to this webinar, who was there the first time, all my trades are based on structure and wave patterns, which means we look for patterns in the chart that has a high probability of going one way or the other, right? Some very few patterns have the ability to go both ways. Well, some patterns could break both ways. Most patterns break one way. Some of them do. Triangles, a few triangles could break both ways, right? So even if they break both ways, one way, one direction that it will be breaking to will be part of a corrective structure, and the other direction will be an impulse. So for the very, very new people to my webinar, those of you who have been to the webinar before have seen this. Those who are absolutely new, this is what you're going to see. An impulse, a correction, and an impulse. Remember this. This is the very basic element of trading. This is what you always have to know. This is what trading is based on. An impulse, a correction, and an impulse. In any chart you gave me, and I mean absolutely any chart, it doesn't matter whether it's commodity, whether it's Forex, whether it's futures, it doesn't matter what the chart is. All charts move by nature, they move in this direction. An impulse, a correction, and an impulse. And this is what I teach my traders, how to identify the impulse, how to identify the corrective structure, how to know when this corrective structure is over, and how to catch the next impulse. Simple. Couldn't be simpler than that, right? So that's what I'm going to try to show you here today. The difficult thing is identifying the correction and when it's over. That is the problem that most traders have. That is not something I would be able to teach you here, because that's something you need 6 weeks of training to understand, and then about a couple months of training, practicing to actually grab the concept. But it's a very simple concept. And the good thing about the concept is that it's rule-based. When I said rule-based, I mean rule-based. Rule-based as to how we put trend lines, rule-based as to how we put fibs, rule-based as to how these patterns should behave. Absolutely rule-based. So if you go into a webinar and you hear somebody said, as I have listened to somebody said at a webinar just before the new year, I was listening to one of the traders from TradingView giving an interview question. He and his friend giving an interview, and somebody asking him about Elliott wave, and he said, well, Elliott wave is subjective. If you take 20 Elliott wavers and you put them in one room, you'll have 20 conks. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. You know nothing about Elliott wave. That's the answer you get from people who knows nothing about Elliott wave. Absolutely nothing. But they have an opinion. And that is crazy, right? If you ask me about something that I know nothing about, and you can ask my traders, I would tell you very clearly, I know nothing about that. People have asked me questions here. I think Wolfie Wave, somebody asked me, I know nothing about it. I have no clue what that is. And that's all. I will tell you I have no clue. None of us have to know everything in the world. You will never know. Our knowledge is about 1 millionth or I don't know if you can say 1 billionth of percentage of what any normal person should know. We know very, very little. And the very little we know is what we should be telling others about. Don't try to talk about what you don't know. Right? So it's very simple. When you listen to people say things like that, and you go to a lot of webinars where people don't understand wave structure, and you ask them about wave structure, what do you think about it? They have an opinion. They're none of them say, well, I don't know. I've never studied it. I have no idea what it is. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, oh, it doesn't work. So let's go. Let's move on. It works, and that's what I'm going to prove to you within the next week that that thing works very well. Right? So let's go. Here is the daily structure of the dollar. In short, this is what we're looking for. We're looking at this structure here. And there are two things that could happen right now. It's in the middle of nowhere. One is going to break this line and come here, and we're going to have a sell set up. The second one, it's going to continue to consolidate in this level here, and eventually break this and come down here. Right? If you guys are posting links to anybody's else webinar, please don't do that. Right? We're not here to discuss somebody's else trading method or webinar. Right? Let's avoid doing that. I don't know what that link is, and I will ask you to avoid doing it if it's a link to somebody's trading thing. Right? If it's that's Victor profile, okay, thank you. That's okay. That's okay. Because one of my trader accidentally posted somebody else's chart. We don't do that. But Victor link, great. Everybody can take a look at it. Yeah. And you're welcome to follow him, by the way. So here's what you're going to do. We're going to watch for this to break to the downside. The higher probability of this trade is breaking to the downside. So for us, it's a sell setup. Nothing but a sell setup. We don't have a buy setup in here. Even if this thing continues to go higher, you don't have a buy setup. It's simple. All you have is a sell setup, nothing else. So you go to the euro and you're looking for a buy setup. See that? I've been saying all the time that this correction is not over. This looks like an A, a B, and we're probably going to be making a C. Now, what would the C wave look like? I have no clue, but I can tell you what it's likely going to do. It is likely going to retest this high. We would likely break the high, and then we would look for the next impulse to the downside. That's the first option, and that's the simplest wave pattern you will find in wave patterns, which is an A, B, C. Wave patterns are sometimes very complex. So what you may find is that you will not find only just an A, B, C. I don't think Victor's profile is... can you guys leave all the chat for after the webinar? I don't think that Victor's profile is private. It's open. If not, he'll open it for you guys. Wait until the end. Avoid doing the chat until we finish the webinar, and you will have time for questions. The faster I finish this, the more questions you get to ask me. Right? So we look for an ABC, and we're looking for this to go up. Only up. You guys remember this trade when I was actually buying here and somebody was going crazy about this thing is going to go down? A lot of people in TradingView were saying, well, this is going to go, and we end up making a lot of money buying this up. So the next trade we're looking for, I actually showed you my account. If you haven't seen that, you'll see that we made a lot of money in this trade here. The next trade we're looking for is the break of this to this level, and then a possibility that it's going to break out. It may or may not break out, but there's a possibility that it could break out. In any case, this is our first trade. Now, is the trade ready? Well, I think one look at this, you can see for yourself, this trade is not ready. Wait for it to break. When it breaks, it's going to... What are the chances that this thing comes down some more here? Then go back up, break this, and go up like that. There's a very high probability of that happening. Am I interested in a sell right now? Today, no. If I get a very good, perfect sell setup tomorrow, maybe I'll look for it. But right now, I'm not looking for a sell setup. As a matter of fact, if you were looking for a sell setup, you had a very small sell setup in here. This was a small trade. And if you understand structure, you would have got out of this trade somewhere right in this area or here and here. So, do we have a sell setup? No, we don't. Is euro going down right now? Maybe it's consolidating. Depends how you look at the chart, right? Some people are going to say, well, this is going down. To me, it's going nowhere. It's in a consolidation. That's it. It's in the middle of nowhere. I am not interested in this little piece coming down to the bottom. I'm interested in the bigger trade going out of this. So the trade that I want to get for this year is euro going out of this structure. As of now, stay out of euro. Pound. Similar structure, daily. We have had a very sharp move up. We've got a sharp move down. And if this move happens, this is the move I'm looking for. I don't know where that arrow gone, but I had an arrow there. I'm pretty sure about that. I had an arrow here. Let me just put it back. I'm looking for this trade. And then we would look for this trade going down. So if you look at the weekly chart, what you're looking at is a sideways move. I'm looking for a 1, 2, 3 sideways move, and then I'm looking for a continuation of this impulse. This sideways move is what I call corrective structure. This was your corrective structure, right? So what we're looking for is a corrective structure in here. Now, maybe, just maybe, this is all the corrective structure you have. But based on what I'm seeing, this up move here, based on what I'm seeing right now, it doesn't look like that. It needs to break this low before I'm convinced that this corrective structure is over. As of now, it's not over. I'm expecting this move to go up. So where is our trade? Let's go to the 4-hour. And my trade is when you break here, they have to break this. Break out of this, give me an impulse up, give me a correction in here, and then we will take that trade first to the top here, and then out of that structure. This is the trade you're looking for. See this piece here? Take this trade first to the top, and if it breaks, it goes. If it doesn't break, it comes back down, right? But you will have more than a very, enough pips in that trade, even if it comes back down. It's a pretty simple way of trading. Now, most of you may look at the chart and say, well, this looks pretty simple. Why not? Believe me, it's not as simple as it looks. It's because you're looking at a chart that's already been prepared, right? My traders who have taken the course, if I give them a blank chart, starts having some problem on how to do it, right? But when you look at the chart when it's already prepared, it's absolutely simple, which means if you know the rules of how to prepare the charts, your chart should look exactly like this. If you have the rules that we follow, this is exactly how your chart should look. And that is exactly the trade you're looking for. Are you looking for a sell to the downside? No, absolutely not. Could the trade go down? Could pound fall some more? Yeah, sure, why not? This, we don't know when this is ended. We don't know the end of it. But here is the thing about it that will save you from a bad trade. You don't want to get into a trade where you see that the end is always very close. Right? Let them prove that that is not the end. Let it break down, consolidate, and then you would look for a sell. Then you would look for a change in direction. Right now, you're not seeing anything of that. The more you see is that what you can see right now is the possibility for this thing to go up. The higher probability trade is to the upside, not the downside. So you will be looking for a trade that is going to go up, not down. By the way, I want you to take notice of how my chart looks. No support and resistance, no bat, rat, cat, dog, and butterfly, whatever else. No, whatever. What else people put on charts? No moving averages. No any fancy stuff. You don't need those fancy stuff to trade. What you need to trade is you need to understand what is the chart doing right now. What is the structure of this chart doing right now? And what you also need to know is what are the high probability of this structure moving in the same direction or the opposite direction, which means you need to understand how it could develop, right? You need to understand the type of patterns that exist and how this pattern could develop. Because if you understand that, if you understand how this pattern could develop, you know where you are not going to be trading. And you don't need any fancy thing to tell you that, especially support horizontal lines. You don't need them. They simply don't work. You will lose your account trading it. Let me repeat this, and I'll repeat it very slow. If you trade support and resistance, you will lose your account. Now, we had a very big argument on TradingView about this. And one trader said, well, I'm doing absolutely great trading it. And I said, prove it to me. Show me your account. That's it. Big argument after that. It's simple. If you tell me you're doing great trading this strategy, show me a live account that proves you're doing great showing that strategy. I'm telling you, trading patterns will make you successful. I showed you 2 live accounts. I showed you my own account, and I showed you one of my traders' accounts. Actually, there were about 4 traders who gave me their account. But the rest of them are private. I didn't use it because those are private accounts. Victor is the only one who is a public account. So I showed you his account. Right? There are traders who had been losing money for like 6-7 months before they took the course. And then they start making money. They gave me their account, but I didn't put it out. So here's the deal. If you say that you're trading something and you're making money, show me a live account. Don't show me a graph that says, oh, this is my equity curve. Nope. Show me a live account. I don't care if it's your account or it's an account you're trading for an investor, or as somebody said, as one guy told me, maybe it's not your account. Well, I've got to really find somebody who's going to trust me to give me their account to show it, and to show it live, and then also to be trading in it. It means I'm trading somebody's account, right? It's simple, right? So show me a live account. Anytime you want somebody to prove something to you, let them show you it works. If they can't show you that it's working, don't listen to what they're saying about them. It's working great for me. If it's working great for you, just show it. It's that simple. We don't have to argue, right? Just show me that it works. That's it. So you will watch this. Most of you can take snapshots of this. You will have the webinar. We'll come back and discuss it. We'll see which one didn't work out, which works out. So like I said, unless it breaks this structure, corrects, and then start to go up, we don't have a trade setup. So I am not going to be putting a trade on right now. We'll wait, and when the setup is right, we will take the trade. If it keeps going down, I would care less. I'm not interested in the sell and the pound where it is right now. Okay, guys, please, can you guys please ease up on the chat for a while? And yeah, let's get through with the webinar, and then you will have time for questions, because I don't read the chat. I hope my traders could monitor what's going on there, because I'm not reading it. That's okay. Let's go. Aussie. By the way, Aussie was the next amazing chart that people were going crazy about, because we posted this structure, I think, a number of times on the 1 hour and on the daily and an all-time frame. We were looking for this move up and that to continue there. It broke. It's coming down. So let's look at the daily structure. What are we looking at? You're looking at a corrective structure. This is what a corrective structure looks like. And if you remember me saying, after a correction, you're going to have an impulse. Here's how it goes. You have an impulse, a correction, an impulse. You have a bigger correction. You have an impulse. You're going to get a correction, and you're going to get an impulse. Now, who says you can't break this corrective structure and come here now? Then we will trade this. If they continue to make corrections here, we will trade the corrective structure until they break, and then we are going to trade this. See? It's very simple. It's as easy as that. It's not difficult. So we are in a corrective structure. I've said that since last year, and I'm showing you, and I'll repeat it again. It's a corrective structure. So let's look at this. We haven't broken that top, so we're right now in a sideways move, pretty much a sideways. We haven't broken this top. I think we broke this top. Let me just make sure we did. No, not really. So we are going sideways. Down, up, down, up, down. This is a sideways movement. You don't have a trade where it is right now. If you jump into this candle, you're going to have a problem. Here's what you can do. You can wait for it to break this structure and look for a sell setup. Wait for it to go back up like this, correct, and then look for a buy setup. What if it's going to go down more and you have a correction in here? You see these corrective structures? These are all buys. You see these corrective structures? These are all sells. So if you have a corrective structure like that here, you have a sell setup. Otherwise, you don't have a trade. You're not going to jump into a moving candle. It will not make you money. It will make you lose your account. If you jump into this right now and it goes into correction, this was going to happen to you. It's going to go up against you. You're either going to click the trade out because you panic, or you're going to watch it come back here and be happy. You add some more trades. You watch it do this. You click the trades out again for a loss. It starts to go down. You jump in the trade. You click the trade out. And after all of this and you've made about 4 losses, you will watch it do this. So the best thing to do is let it do that first, and then you take the trade. Don't take any trade where it is right now. Let it go. If it has to go, let it break this structure. Let them break this structure. And then you get in the trade. And your trade is going to be like this. If you want to see what your trade should look like, look at this one. See this here? Watch this. Can't be simpler than that. See how simple it is? What did it do? So what is it doing right now? It's going sideways. This is doing exactly that, except on a bigger scale. This would be your next trade. See that? This whole thing here will be your next trade. So wait for the trade. If you want to trade the little pieces within this corrective structure, wait for a good setup. Because if you don't have a good setup, you're going to lose your account. Right? Wait for a good setup before you take the trade. We don't have a good setup to trade here now. Just let it go. Watch it go. It's not interesting. Interesting. If you were in the Asian session, you probably could have got this here. If you're in the Asian session, you probably could have got that breakout there. If you don't, just let it go. I told my traders this morning, let it go if you're not in. Right? So wait for the bigger trade if you can catch the small trade. Now, if it pulls back and gives us a corrective structure to go down, we will have a sell setup. New Zealand. So I posted this one and everybody starts to freak out. Should we sell? Should we sell? Should we buy? It's breaking. I said, no, it's not breaking. We're not breaking anything. It has to consolidate. See what happened? It went out and came right back in. Any consolidation out there? No. And that is what it do. It's not expected to consolidate out there. So the trade you're going to be looking for would be this trade. Can you catch the trade earlier? Sure, you can catch it in there. So let's go see if we can catch it in there now, right? That is what we're looking for. Can we catch this trade in here before it breaks there? Sure. If you were there in the Asian session, come on, the charts are very slow right now. If you were in the Asian session, you should have got this trade, the one some of my traders got. That trade there. See that? If you didn't get that trade, don't jump into the candles. Because if you look at this structure, what it did is it made a move up. They made a move down. They made a move up. They're making a move down. What are the chances they could make one more move up? If you know anything about structure, this has a very high probability of happening. Right? And so as not to get caught upside down in the trade with this going up, taking out your stops and then turning to the downside, right? Wait for the trade to prove what it's going to do. So for you and your trade now, you want it to break, you want it to consolidate, and then you want the next trade to the downside. See? That's how simple it is. That is how simple trading is. So wait for the trade. The bigger trade, of course, will be to the downside. If this keeps going down, the bigger trade will be to the downside. So we will be looking for this big trade. Will this pattern play out? I don't have a clue. It doesn't have to play out this way. But if it does, we should be in the trade. If it breaks the top and consolidate, which means if they go back above here and then they start to consolidate like this, we will ignore this and we will be looking for that trade up. And this trade up will be a huge trade, a much bigger one than the downside. So we will be trading those trades. And I mean we will be trading them for thousands and thousands of pips. Literally. Not kidding you. If you've never seen me make a trade that is 1,000 pips, you haven't seen anything. Is that we've made many trades that are thousands of pips. So we will do that again. We will repeat this as often as we find these patterns. Right? And when I say 1,000 pip, I'm talking about a pip with a risk of about 6 to 70 pips risk. And you go for 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 pips. Right? That is the risk to rewards you want. Those are the kind of trades that builds your account. Right? And that is what, and you do that by putting 2 lines in a chart, nothing more. 1, 2 lines in a chart. Nothing more. You don't need anything more. You need to, and these lines, we don't really trade these lines. People keep asking me, well, you have support and resistance in that. No, they're not support and resistance. Those lines are just to identify what the pattern is doing. That's all. It's actually putting the pattern on. It has nothing to do with support and resistance. So if you're gonna comment on my chart, please don't comment about things you have no idea of what I do, right? Because those lines have zero value when it comes to support and resistance, because there's nothing like support and resistance in the chart. It simply doesn't exist. If you see anything that has support and resistance in the chart, it's your imagination. It's pure imagination. If you see a bad pattern, it's your imagination. What you need to look at is what is the structure doing. Every chart has a structure. They developed into certain structure. And these structures repeat themselves. It has nothing to do with a certain pattern. The structures repeat themselves. And that is what you have to be able to identify. What is this structure doing? And if it repeats itself, where will it go next? Right? So what I'm looking for is, will this structure repeat itself here? And if this structure repeats itself here, what is the trade? This is your trade. That's how simple it is. It is not difficult. If you do it the right way, it's not difficult. And you don't have to worry about long leg dojis, short leg dojis, hanging man, hanging hammer, hanging anybody in the charts. People see hammer and all kind of stuff. You could see whatever you want in the charts. It's your imagination. Let me repeat this. You seeing long legs in the chart, you're probably having some other problem. Solve that problem and then come back to trading. There's no legs in the chart that are long and short, right? There's no doji and all of that. These are just candlesticks. These are just design. The candlestick is a design. You can change that. I've already proved it to people, but some people are really hard to get it. You could do this. What happened to your candlestick and your dojis and your long legged and short leg? They disappear. Can I change the pattern? Can I trade that structure? You see, nothing has changed in terms of the structure, because what I have used to actually draw the data on the chart is a line. You can use a line to do that. You can use a candlestick to do that. You can use Renko bars, Heikin-Ashi bars to do that. You can use nothing has changed. See, nothing has changed. It doesn't matter what you use to draw on the chart. You could color it pink, blue, red, green, whatever color you want. You're not trading the colors. You're not trading red bars against green bars. If you think you're trading red bars against green bars, you probably have a problem with trading. You know nothing about trading. It's not about, oh yeah, I have a big red bar, so I'm going to be selling now. That's crazy stuff. Really, really crazy stuff. If you think you're selling because you have a big red bar, you have a big red problem, not a bar. Or you have a candle with a long wick in it, and because of that you're buying or selling, you really have a problem with trading. You know very little about trading. I'm serious. You really don't have an understanding what you're doing in the charts. For you to have an understanding, understand the charts, you need to understand that you can actually change it. This is what is called simple, basic understanding of the charts, is that you can change the design, and that should not affect your trading strategy. See how simple it is? The design of the chart should not affect your trading strategy, which means the structure should not change. If the design changed and the structure changed, then you were trading the design. You were not trading the structure. And I don't trade the design. I don't trade the candlesticks. They just look nice on the chart. You can color them very beautiful if you want. You can make them all black, all white. It doesn't matter. That has zero effect on what you're doing. What you're trading is the structure and the probability of the structure continue to go in one direction or the other. Just remember that. It has absolutely nothing to do with the candlestick. Absolutely nothing. And people keep insisting on it. And, when they say they trade long leg dojis, tell them, show me your account on long leg dojis. And that's it. It's over. It's nonsense. It's pure nonsense. You see any long leg dojis in this chart? Is this chart not a valid chart? It's a valid chart. It's statistics. It's showing me exactly what the chart has done. It doesn't have to be candlestick. It's simple statistics drawn by a line, connected the dots with a line. And it's true. It's a true chart. It's honestly, it's a true chart. You could trade this. People trade line charts and make money because they're not trading the lines. They're actually trading the structure. It has nothing to do with the candlestick. So please, when you hear these things, here's what you guys have to do. If you want to be a successful trader, when you hear people say these things and they do these things, question it before you jump into it. Question that. Right? When somebody puts out a 1 month chart, if I post a 1 month chart, I always post a note. It is only for analysis purpose. It has nothing else. It has no value in trading. If you have a 1 month chart or a 1 year chart, it has no value in trading. It's only for analysis. And it's for people who do very long-term analysis, right? The next 1 year candle, will you wait until next year, December, to put an entry order in on the next 1 year candle? Of course not. Crazy stuff, right? But that's what you should do. You have to allow the next candle to open and to wait to see how the next candle close. If you're trading a 1 year chart, you need to wait for that next year candle to close to see how the second candle closes before you take the trade. Which is your next trade is the next December. Congratulations. You're on a long holiday. The only value those things have is for analysis purpose. And the deeper you want to go into analysis, you have to come down. You could start in the yearly, but you have to come down. You have to come down to the monthly, weekly, daily, 2, 4 to 60 minutes, 15 minutes. That's how we do analysis in our room. And then you trade. Right? So it's all about structure, guys. Please question every single thing you hear. Don't just take them for face value. Let me just put back the candlestick. I want you guys to really see that it's not about the candlestick. Right? It has nothing to do with that. It's not about even the color. Right? I'm just making these colors like this so that my traders, when we do analysis, I could show them how we analyze it. Right? So that they can differentiate phases. It has nothing to do with these colors. Afterwards, they could take out the color and they could pretty much launch a trade. They don't need the color to trade. So let's go. I know this webinar is going to take long. I warn you guys because I really want in this first week to share some knowledge with you guys so that you don't repeat the same mistakes over and over and follow people who literally are just leading you into disaster. Right? I'm not criticizing any one person in particular. I'm criticizing ideas. I'm criticizing strategy. I'm dealing with ideas and strategies. Right? And I don't care who used that idea or strategy. What I'm trying to show you is that those methods, those ideas, those strategies either work well or they don't work well. It's not about a person in particular. I would care less who anybody is. If we want to be traders, we're going to discuss the ideas put forward by these people, the strategy. You should be doing the same about me. Don't worry about me. Worry about the patterns, the strategy I'm using. Discuss that. Talk about it. Do you think it's effective? Show me where it's not effective. Right? So that's what we need to do. What you can look at, immediately you look at this and you can see that it's probably going up. Do you want to buy it? That's the question. Just look at the structure and see how the structure behaves. You have a very sharp move down. You got a consolidation. There is a very good chance you're at the top of the consolidation and you will be coming down right now. Right? So let's look at this, what it's doing right now. And we would go on to let me put it in the weekly so you can see. In the weekly, we broke this top. We have divergence. Right? We have divergence there. We actually dropped very sharply and we're consolidating now. So if you look at the daily, you can see that we're in a daily sideways move. Go to the 4 hour. This is what your 4 hour looks like. A move up, a move down, another move up. You want to buy this at the top here? Now, we don't know exactly if that is the top, so let me take it off like this. But do you want to buy right where it is right now? Very bad idea, right? You simply don't want to buy there. If you wanted to buy this is where you would have bought. Right here. So now if you want to buy this, you have to allow it to go, pull back like this, and then you buy. Your buy was here. Actually, here was the buy. I actually think I posted this chart for the buy on the 1 hour. Your buy setup was when you break this. I'm pretty sure we had this chart out somewhere, either in the 1 hour, 4 hour or something. I'm not sure where it is, but we had a buy set up somewhere in here. So the buy you're looking for would have to come in here. Up, down, up, wait for it to come back down, and then buy again. The bigger direction I think this thing could go is if it breaks this, we got a very sharp move down like this. If they continue to go up, they will pull back, go up, and then we will trade on the pullbacks. Not the fast move that is going up, but on the pullback you will trade. Now, can this go up? Yes, it can go up some more, definitely. So, but should you be in the trade right now? I think no. Even on the 1 hour, the trade is already gone. You don't jump into the trade when the candle is at the top of the structure. You want to buy when the candle is at the bottom of the structure. So right now, that's gone. Let it go. The main aim today is that you pick up how to analyze the chart and what to do when you're trading. CAD. CAD has been a very tough one. Let me show you why. it had a structure, and this is important because I actually posted this, so we'll discuss it. We had a structure that were looking like a possibility of making an ending diagonal like this. It is, and then is it an ending diagonal? So that was the question. Is this structure an ending diagonal? Silver is always gonna. We talked about silver going up. So here's the thing: if this was an ending diagonal, they would never have to break the top. They will come down. So what they did, they broke the top. What happens? That changes the structure. So you take this out, and what you have actually in this structure is this. You have a channel going up here. Sorry. We have this channel going up, pull back, up, pull back. So we are right now in a pullback. Let me just show you that in a 4-hour. We're right now in a sideways move here. See that? So if you want to have this trade to the upside, you have to wait for them to break out, consolidate here, and then take this trade up. This trade up is very dangerous. It's a very short-term trade. Because once they break that top, you're going to have divergence in here. And that means you're going to have a deeper pullback. So I'm not very keen on the upside. What I'm keen on is if they come down back from here, this is a sideways move. If they come down back here, then I'll look for a sell setup here and then a sell setup here. And if they break this, that's wonderful. If they don't, they will make one more impulse to the upside. So I'll be looking at this structure coming down, how it behaves. And then I'll make a decision what to do with this trade. Right now, I'm not doing anything in CAD. Just wait until it shows. We're getting a lot of chat, but I can't read the chat. Otherwise, I'll miss the webinar. So we'll come back to that later. Yen broke out. Interesting. Very, very interesting charts. We are actually breaking the weekly trend line. See that very slightly, but that has nothing to do with anything as yet because we don't have a consolidation. So this entire move at the top there is a consolidation of its own. It's a weekly consolidation, this whole structure here. So eventually you're going to have a very big impulse, a huge impulse like this going up, right? Eventually. But for now, we're within that corrective structure. So what I'm anticipating that this thing could do is it could come to retest this low. That is a possibility. For it to do that, it will first have to consolidate here and then drop. If we see this consolidation, we would look for this trade to the downside. What it could also do, if you look at this structure that they finished here, is they could probably spike up above here and then start going up. I'm not anticipating the upside. Based on this structure, I think it's not over as yet. So personally, I think this structure has more downside. So what I'm waiting for now is a 4-hour or 1 hour. Let's put it in the 4-hour. I'm waiting for a 4-hour consolidation. You had a very nice one here, by the way. If anybody traded this, I don't know if anybody traded this. Well, after the holiday, probably everybody missed that. But that was a perfect trade in the Asian session. It broke. So what I am waiting for is a bigger consolidation at the bottom here and then downside. If I get this trade, we will all be in this trade if it happens this week. As long as you're in the webinar, we will take it live, right? Let's see what happens there. Pung. Europung, this morning I spoke to my traders, and if you remember, my traders will tell you in the webinar we did this morning. I warned them against taking any buy. If you're going to take it, you have to wait for a consolidation and then a buy to this top. Short-lived, we are anticipating downside. They did break the top and they are coming down. So I still think we will be looking for this trade. And there's a very good reason for that, right? We already have divergence in the chart. We're looking at a bigger structure. And they may make a consolidation. See this consolidation here? We're anticipating a consolidation here. And then upside, retest the stop, give us divergence, down. So it's not as simple as it is, right? Remember I warned you, it's not as simple as it see correction, impulse, correction. Because in every impulse, there are corrections as well. So if you don't know how they're going to develop, you're definitely going to have problem, right? So you need to know how these structures could develop before you will able to. So right now, we're waiting for this correction, one more retest of this top, and then the downside, right? So I don't think you have a trade in there. Just ignore that one. But here are some very nice trades coming up. EURUSD. This is one trade we looked at last year, and we made some good money in the sell. Most of you may remember that. Now we're looking for the buy structure to make money. I think this one is, by now all of you figure out what we're looking for, right? We've got a corrective structure, give us some correction in here, and we are buying all the way to the top here. So let's go look at that in a lower time frame, and you can see very clearly. You had an impulse. We did buy this. Most of you remember that. We got a break here. We're breaking out. You don't have a trade as yet because this could always come back like that. For you to have a trade, you have to wait for this to prove it's going to stay above here. And you will take this trade. That is the trade you need. Never jumped into a moving candle. Especially now that silver is moving, you're not supposed to jump in it. Actually, all my traders are supposed to be in silver buys. I had silver buys since last year. If you're in my webinar last year, you remember the only trades that I kept were silver trades. Right? Somebody even said, one guy wrote on YouTube and said you would lose your account doing that. I was like, good luck to you. I'm still keeping my silver trades. Because silver is definitely going to go up. Right? There is no, the highest probability that could happen is silver going up. The probability that silver will go down is extremely low. I think you can go to 0.01% for silver to fall. Anything that could happen to silver will send it up. And we spoke about that in detail last year. So look for this trade. We will probably get this trade this week during the webinars. Euro New Zealand, similar structure, broke out. We are waiting for the consolidation to buy. We're looking for a buy setup, right? Can everybody hear me? I thought just a couple of people just let me know if you're getting sound or is it my side? Great. So somebody tell 5 or 6 how to get sound. Thank you. EuroCAD, I think you guys can see we're in a sideways move here. If they break this sideways move to the downside, we're not interested in it. If they break it to the upside, we are interested in it. Okay, if sound is breaking up on your side, it's because your internet speed is very slow. It's your internet speed that you need to up if you're getting, if your sound is breaking up. If you're getting no sound, it means you need to watch how to use join.me. So those are two things you guys should know. Get their internet speed up and rolling. If you're going to be a trader, you need very good internet speed. Internet is your main tool if you're trading through the internet, right? So you definitely need good. I actually have 2 providers. One provider is 100 megabyte per second, and the second one is 120 megabyte per second. So I'm connected right now, 2 different computers, 2 different providers, both very high speed. That is just in case one cuts off. You guys remember last year I was doing a webinar and then I just went blank. My internet just went off. Actually, it was the computer crash, wasn't the internet. So I got the computer up and rolling and I decided I'm going to get 2 internet servers this year. So if one goes down, I'm still in the internet. I'm not going to allow that one provider to disturb my trading, right? So both of them working excellent. I'm paying for both of them. It's very cheap, Russia, that's the amazing thing. I thought internet would be cheap everywhere else in the world. It's absolutely cheap in Russia. 120 megabyte per second will cost me about $10 plus TV, plus TV also. Megabyte second, yes. 120, that's extremely fast. $10 plus TV is extremely cheap. That is why I have 2 providers, right? That is why I have 2, because it's very, very cheap. It's like you don't want it cheaper than that. Sure, I can speak Russian. Let's go. We'll come back to that. Let's go to the webinar. I just want to stick on that internet, how important it is to you. So that if I'm doing 2 providers, then it's probably very important. Let's go. EuroChief. EuroChief is in a huge sideways move, guys. Very, very huge consolidation. See, this is very huge. Right now, there are 2 things could happen. They could come back down here again. Like this. You see this one actually came down, went up. They're probably doing this. We may see a downside again, and then the upside. Right? But if they break, we may not get a lot. When it's going down, it's very miserable, to be honest. It's very tough to trade. But if they break here, this trade is a trade you don't want to miss. Right? If they break. I don't think they'll break. I think they're probably going to do this, come down here very slow, give us something like this, and then we're going to see the upside. So we wouldn't see the upside so fast. But within a week, we may see if there's a trade available for us in here. Right? They came to the trend line, stopped coming down back. What we can do now is we can look for this trade if they come down here. If they come down here, correct, and start to go down. Well, they don't go down that fast. You see how they go down? Very miserable. So it's going to be hard to trade. The structure is there, but the lower structures are very, very slow. Right? The larger trend in this one, if you're looking for the larger trend in this one, it's like this. A move up, a pullback, a move up. We're in a pullback, and we're going to get a move up. That's what the larger trend looks like. So there is a move up back to this bigger trend. You see that bigger move there? You see what they did? They went sideways here. This one, we are literally going sideways, but we're going to get this move up here, and then we're probably going to get a drop again. Don't be surprised if you get one more of that. It may not be as fast as that, but it's probably going to be like this. And then up. See? So there is one. They're going to retest this low. And there's, I know it sounds impossible now, but let's see. Unless this one breaks the trend, because if they break this trend, you want to be in that buy. Believe me, the reason you want to be in this buy here, that's a couple hundred pips. And if they break this becomes a huge move to the upside. Really, really huge move to the upside. So, this year is promising. I think this year is very promising for some very huge trends to start. And if those trends start, we're not going to miss them. Some of my traders are already waiting for those trends to start. It doesn't matter what generates it. It really doesn't matter. News generated. You think that you don't think that it's news that is moving? Here's the thing. You need to understand about news. News events are being used to move the market. It does not mean that it's not part of the bigger structure. Those moves are well anticipated. Here's what you had. You had an impulse down, and you had a corrective structure that was going flat. Right? They break the top here. You see they broke the top there? If you look at this here, they broke the top there, and then they started to drop. So the speed with which they drop is a news event. But if they didn't have that news event, they will still come down, only slower. Exactly. You know what they did here? They actually played everybody. And I don't mean me and you, the small guys. I'm telling you the really big guys. They played them out very nice. They promised them that they're not going to break on the Euro Swiss. We're not going to go there, and then they drop. It's like what they did is they put what everybody called the floor, and they had everybody stand on it. And then they press the button, and the floor opens. Everybody went down. Everybody even some greedy brokers went down. Right? Because instead of passing the traders over to the bank, the brokers kept those trades. And when it broke, their account, the traders' account, were not enough to support the losses. So they'd start taking the losses from the brokers. Right? What happened was that the brokers were holding those trades, because if they weren't holding the trade, the losses would not be from them. The losses would be from the guy who's holding the trade. Right? So that is what you call playing people. Do you think the chart is not manipulated? It is. The manipulation is part of the structure. Manipulation of the charts is part of the structure. That is what happens daily. Everything is being manipulated in the world. If you don't know that, you probably need to wake up. Right? Politics is manipulation. Business is manipulated. Everything is manipulated somehow or the other. But that is what makes the structure. That's the psychology of the structure. That's part of it. It's built in that something is going to happen, and all of this is going to happen. Right? Crazy stuffs happen. But all those crazy stuffs are part of an organized structure of nature. Right? Hurricanes happen. They're part of nature. Right? Earthquakes happen. It's all part of nature. They happen. Things happen. These are all part of nature. The market moves in a certain structure. It's all part of how nature behaves. Right? Gold is manipulated. Silver is manipulated. Everything is manipulated. It doesn't matter what you do. Why do I think silver and gold will go up? Because it's highly manipulated. Me, no. I'm just pretty much a simple guy who happens to learn this thing very well, right? Just manage to grab the idea of the structure very well. And once you grab that idea and you start looking at it, the more you learn it, the more you understand that it is working perfect, right? It is really working good, guys. Let's go. Euro yen. Euro yen still in this structure. It will go up. There's a very, very high probability of this trade happening. It keeps it. They made a push up. They're coming down back. This structure can have 5 waves in it, and it's almost finished. And the daily, look at the divergence you're getting here. And look at where that structure is right now. It's breaking the low. So there's a very, very high probability that within, remember I was saying that this part here is going to break to the upside and everybody was going crazy? It did break to the upside, right? But it did not break the bigger structure. We're going to look for this one to break to the upside, and then we're anticipating the break of the bigger structure on this one this time round. So let's look at this. You guys would remember this trade here at a buy setup. We weren't looking for a sell setup. We were looking for a buy setup because it was very clear to us that that thing was going to go up eventually. It did go up. It came down a little more, but it go up. The same thing with this one. We're not looking for a sell. Your sell structure was at the top there. You're not looking for a sell structure now. What you're looking for is this to come back to this line here and bounce. And this is your first trade. And if you're lucky, this trade gets going out of this structure and it becomes a very, very big trade. So hopefully we may get this trade. If it bounces here and go back up there, we may get this trade here. Right? We may also get this trade. What if it keeps going down? Let's assume for a second that this structure just keeps going down as an ABC. An A, a B, and a C structure all the way to here. When it breaks this low, you're going to have divergence, and we're going to look for this trade to take off. But this time, it's not only going to do this. This time, it's going for a big trend way above that top. Way above that top. So, do we have a setup for a sell? No, we don't. Put it in a 1 hour. We don't have a sell setup. This morning, I was looking at this with my trader, and your sell setup, if you had a 1 hour sell setup, this was 1, and this was 1. If you want a sell setup, you have to let it come back here and then take this trade. This trade, if you get it, you take this, you get out of that trade and look for the opposite direction. Right? There's a likelihood it could pull back. If it does, you'll get a trade. But right now, I don't think you're going to have a trade on this. The trade we're looking for now is a setup where it's going to bounce here to go up. And if within this week that happens, we will all be in that trade. Right? Okay, somebody is asking for me to label. No, we don't label in here. That is only for my trading room. There's a reason why. Because we label the charts different from the rest of the world. And there's a very good reason why we do it different. And I'll tell you why we do it different. The reason we do it different is we identify what is a wave. We have a method of identifying what is a wave, one single wave. No other trader in the world will tell you that or will show you how it's done. And it's actually rule-based. Here is the good thing about it. It's rule-based, which means it does not depend on me to identify it, and it's no longer subjective. Remember what I told you about people who says that this thing is subjective, has no clue what they're talking about? Well, that's what I mean. All my traders will tell you that I will identify a wave for them with a rule, and the same rule they are supposed to use to identify what is a wave. And each wave has sub-waves inside of it. Even the sub-waves within a wave are actually defined by the same rule. It's rule-based. You can look at the daily wave and tell me how many 240 waves you have in there using the same rule. It's rule-based. That's it. So we wouldn't be doing counting in here. That would be big trouble. So we're looking for that trade up. Pong New Zealand, I think, Pong Oz, I think I posted this morning. You're waiting for the correction to happen and then we'll buy. So let's wait and see. It's probably happening very soon. If we get a corrective structure in here, which would be something like this, we'll take the trade. If not, let it go. You don't have a trade there. You don't have a trade setup. Let me just show you the structure. See what the structure looks like in the bigger picture? Let me put it in a weekly for you to see. This is what we're looking at. We're looking for that one more green candle to the top there, that green arrow there, that one big trade. That is this trade. If you missed this and you missed this, don't miss this one. See how simple it is? Don't miss that one. It's doing exactly what we wanted to do. It made a corrective structure here. We knew this was going to go up. It's making a corrective structure here now. I'm telling you this is going to go up. The question is, will we get one more down trade here? Let's look at it 240. Will it come down one more when it comes to the top? When it comes to this top, is it going to do this and then go up? Possible. We don't know that right now, right? But we will know it eventually. We just don't know it right now. So what we will do is we'll try to catch this trade to the top of the trend, and then we will see if we'll get the downside. If we don't, they're going to break. And believe me, if you're in that trade, you're one lucky trader. If this thing breaks when you're in the trade, because you're not coming out of that trade forever. I mean, like all the way to the top here, you're still going to be in that trade. So let's see. Maybe we'll get it this week. Just maybe we're lucky enough, right? If they keep coming down to make a lower low, I'm not interested in the trade. Right? I don't have a setup. That's the first thing. There's no setup for a sell. And secondly, I'm not interested in a sell. If it goes back up, come back down, I'm not interested in the sell. Look what I'll be interested in if it does this. I'm going to be interested in that trade. All the way to the top. Remember where we were looking for sells on this chart? Let me show you. Our sell setup was in here. Daily. Let's put it daily. Everybody was going crazy about sell setups. We had a sell setup in here. I can't find it. It's probably not in this chart. There were sell setups in here. But you guys could go back. Just go and click Pong Aussie in my chart and you will see how many sell setups we had coming down here. A lot of them. Quite a lot of sell setup we had coming down in here. All of these were sell setups, right? So there were a lot of sell setups. Now we're looking for buys because the corrective structure is about finished. So we're not interested in sell anymore. We're interested in buys. Pound New Zealand, very similar structure. Broke out. See this one? All of you remember all the sells we had in here? With everybody going crazy that this is not going to happen, right? Remember I posted a sell setup in here and one guy, there was let me see if I can find it. I think it's on the daily. Yeah. It was on the daily chart when we had the people coming and going crazy in the chart. Look at this one, right? Don't miss that downside. The trader's going crazy. I don't know what he's saying about downside. That thing is going up, right? Everybody remember that chart? This actually created a lot of noise in TradingView, right? People going crazy all over. Come on, guys. This is what the chart does. One guy was buying and proving to me that at the top there he's making a lot of money buying. Right? So good luck to you if you're doing it. It just doesn't work well. This is what you're looking for. So now what we're looking for? We're looking for this trade up here. This is the trade you're looking for. That's your next trade. Right? That is your next trade. So let's go get it. 4 hour. Come on. The charts are slow. Sorry about that. Yep, 4 hour. We broke this structure. We're waiting for a correction. Let's get a nice corrective structure here, and we'll be ready to buy. We'll be ready to do some buying. Take this off. We want the corrective structure here, and then we'll buy. Right? If we don't have it, we're not going to do anything. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Just have to say goodbye to somebody. Let's go. Punkad. We're in this structure, corrective in nature, coming down to the trend line, and then we're looking for the next wave to the upside. Right? We're looking for this next trade up here. Hopefully it happens this week, and we'll all be we'll all be in a very, very good situation if that happens. It's coming down very nicely, so let's see where it goes. There's probably one more trade down. Let's see if we have a short trade to the downside. Actually, you do. You have a very nice short trade. If they do something like this, you see this here? Sideways? If you get a sideways corrective structure like this, you can take this trade down. Right? You see they had one here. They have one there. They have one here. If you get one of that here, you can take the trade to the downside. Maybe this week. Let's see. If we're lucky, we get it this week. Pound Chief. It's kind of just going sideways right now. We broke this structure here, and we're going sideways. So I think we just have to wait to see what they're going to do. Right? Because this sideways is not giving us any clue as whether it's a reversal or whether it's coming down. Remember, some structures break both ways. This is one of the options where they could actually go both ways. So we'll just have to wait and see. Peng Yen, amazing, right? If any one of you could remember this chart with this sell setup. When I posted this, a lot of people were going crazy. What is going on there? Why would it go up? Let's look at the next one. Let's look at it from the top. We had a sell from the top here. If I can find that one on the 1 hour, I think. And there were two trolls on the chart trying to prove to me that this thing is not going to go down. I actually posted this pattern out, the ABCDE pattern. If I can find that chart. Okay. Not here. For some reason, I can't find it. It's supposed to be in the 4 hour. It's not here, but it's somewhere in the chart. You'll remember I had to post this out so that people could see what the pattern looks like and stop trolling the charts, because they come and because you post a chart and they have no clue what structure is doing, they start to, go crazy and really start trolling the charts for some reason. I don't know why. So we're going down. What are we looking for now in the bigger picture? Don't sell it. Not at this point. Actually, you're mostly looking for a structure that could probably take off to the upside, right? Very likely this thing could actually bounce and start to go back up. If you look at a weekly structure, we broke the weekly structure, right? We totally broke it. We came down. This move itself is actually, there's a nice one here that is showing what we were doing there as well, right? What we're looking for in this move. I think this one, but this is a weekly one. This one is more for analysis purpose, right? As to what it could do, right? Mostly for analysis purpose, not so much for trading purposes, right? But what we could do here is watch what it's going to do here. So put it back in the daily. And the daily, what you want it to do is actually make a corrective structure up. Charts are very slow today. So what I'm going to do, put it in the 4 hour. Yep. And we're looking for this structure now to make a corrective structure up. And if they do this, we will have a wonderful trade down. This will take about a week to happen. So we may not get this trade this week. If they continue to go down from there, that's okay. You should not be in the trade. If you're already in the sell, that is good. If you're not, you shouldn't be doing that. Can you guys keep all your questions for afterwards? I'll leave some time for questions. Let me just finish a couple more charts and then we'll take questions, because if we go through everything, it's going to be too long. It's already an hour, right? So I'll just go through some more. Let's stay out of this. I will skip all of these. We don't. Oh, by the way, I may want to show you this one, right? This one has a very good potential for a nice trade to the downside. Remember, this chart was posted way back. Pattern made simple. You guys should go and check these charts back, how amazing they work, right? First, we focused the up move, and now we forecast the up move, the down move, and let's see what it did. It broke this structure, went up, came down. We are at the bottom of this structure. We're waiting to see whether they're going to break this structure, consolidate, and then you can take this trade here. If they break out of that structure. If they don't, you just wait. Amazing charts. There's some more. Aussie Swiss was one very amazing chart that we posted. Come on. We don't have trades in this chart right now. The reason I'm showing you, this one has a very nice trade setup, by the way. See this? If they break this, there's a nice trade setup. This chart was also posted very early on the daily. I don't know where it is because I can't find it, but I remember posting this early also with a very similar chart structure like this here, right? Very similar structure as to what we are looking for. Oh, I think the next big move to come. This is the chart. Amazing stuff, right? This chart was posed that we're going to look for this next big move to come. It's an all-time historical low. If they come back and break this, they're actually still within that structure. They're still within it. So it didn't happen as yet. We're waiting for this to come down and then up. We're actually on the downside. Right? The big move would be in the break of this. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah. We're in a consolidation, put it in a 4 hour, and this trade is going to be very active very soon. We just broke the structure, so we want some consolidation here, and then we'll all be in this trade going. So this is one of the trades we may be able to catch in the during the webinar itself. If not, you can take that trade when it consolidates well. Wait for the consolidation, then take the trade, right? Don't take it on one candle. Allow it to make a couple candles, at least a 1 hour consolidation, which is what you're getting right now. You're getting a 1 hour consolidation here. Let it break that consolidation, then sell it. See, it's not very difficult to do. I'll skip the rest. I'll go to silver and gold. Daily. We're in this daily structure coming down, and they're in a consolidation right now. So this up move is not long-lived. I think they were going to come here. We may see some more consolidation here. We could see one more drop to the low before they go up. So don't be surprised if you get one more drop to the downside, because we're in a sideways move right now. And that means there's a high probability for one more downside before they go up. Will it go up? Sure. Put some buy at the 13,005 somewhere down, have a buy entry. Put a buy entry and leave it. You can't lose. Gold breaking up. Yes, gold is at a low. Gold, you see, gold is at the low, gold is at the low, gold is at the low. There is still a chance that gold could make one more attempt to the downside, which means we could have a move up like this, and then one more attempt here before they go. Or it could be taking off, because gold is at a low. If gold takes off, likelihood we will not see another low on silver. We'll just see silver takes off. So let's see. If you're a gold buyer, you could be interested in the buy here, but you have to be very careful, because remember, once they break this top, they could probably make one more move down. It's possible. Not necessary, but possible. We will wait and see. If you want to buy here, I think the best thing you want to do is wait for a correction. Wait for one of these small corrections, not a big one like this, a very small correction like that. See this small correction? You'll get them on a 1 hour chart, and then you take the trade. A 1 hour or a 15-minute chart before you take the trade. Don't just jump into the candle. Oil, it's in the middle of nowhere. Stay out of it. We'll come back to that. The one you really wanted, that you're interested in, is this one. I posted this just before the New Year. Are we breaking, right? Or during the holidays? This is one of the few charts I posted. Yeah, we're breaking and we're consolidating. If you can trade natural gas, you want to trade this. You were at a low, and we are now starting a trend to the upside. So if you can trade this, wait for this consolidation to finish and take that trade up, right? It is a nice trade. It will become a wonderful trade if you can trade it. So you want to come here, wait for the consolidation. You're now in the consolidation zone. You see that? Let it consolidate, break, and then you take the trade. I think there's going to be more consolidation. I don't see them breaking out right now. They could, but I don't see that happening right now. So, okay, guys, at this point, we will close the webinar, and I'll take some questions. So let's get the questions now. Let me go through the questions pretty fast. If you guys would, can you guys retype your questions now? Because I don't want to go through everything and reread them. It's going to take a long time. No, my analysis are not always based on. Somebody asked a question: is your analysis always based on Elliott wave? No, not always. It's based on wave structure, and that Elliott wave is just a part of that structure. I'm not sure what that question is. What are you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. You'll have to retype your question. Yep, I did all the trades. We did EURUPONG already too. Somebody's asking about EURUPONG. Okay, let's go. Is there a way to know when the correction will end? Yes, there is a way. If you know the patterns, you will know when corrections are ending. How to consider spikes in Swiss chart? You don't have to consider them. Just ignore it. Why worry about the spikes? If the spikes are part of the structure, if you understand the structure, you will know how to trade it. If you don't know how to trade it, just leave it, right? We normally start in the monthly chart. We entered in the 60 and the 240. Somebody asked a question: what time frame you usually start your analysis, and what is your usual entry time frame? We start in the monthly. We enter in 60 and 240. How do you know a consolidation is over and the price is ripe, and what the entry method? You're asking me a 6 weeks course to tell you in one question. If you do the 6 weeks course, you will get all that knowledge you ask for. You will get how to know when the structure is ending. You will get how to know when to enter the price. You will get to know where to put your stops. All of that you will get. That's a 6 weeks course. I can't answer that in one question in 1 minute. Once the breakup is done, you always wait. But in short, you learn the structure. That is what I mean. If you learn the structure, you will know that. And that's a 6 weeks course. Once the breakup is done, you always wait for consolidation and then wait for the breakup. It's not always that way. It depends on what type of structure I'm looking at. If I'm looking at daily structure, 2, 4 to 6 to 15 minutes, each structure has a different way we'd look at it. Sometimes we just get in the trade. Sometimes we wait for a consolidation. It depends on what structure you're looking at, what degrees of structure you're looking at as well. How do you use the MACD? Do you use it to spot divergence? Yep, we use it for divergence sometimes. Can I use this? But that's not the only way we use the MACD. Can I use this even for 1 minute, 15 minutes? You can use it, but I would not advise you to do that because the speed with which you will have to react to the changes in the charts, yeah, I don't think you probably can do it for very long. It's going to be very disturbing to you. Is the buy setup on the Aussie still valid? What buy setup on Aussie? We didn't see any buy setup on Aussie. Did I say? I said stay out of the Aussies in the middle of nowhere. If you're talking about a buy setup of last year, you're in big trouble. Last year trade and a buy setup on a 60-minute is over a long time ago. Actually, we made profit in that. We actually closed that trade. We'll catch in the recording that. Okay, is buy Aussie still? The guy keep asking the same question. Come on, guys. If you keep doing the same thing, you're doing something wrong. Thank you for your time. Your structure met analysis. What is the next question? Simple. Oh, no, thank you. Okay. How do you determine entries? We determine entries based on structure. A good book to learn structure. There isn't any particular book to learn structure. You can learn Elliott wave as part of structure using the Elliott wave principles by Prechter, but that is just part of what you're going to learn. You're going to learn the patterns. What you need to learn, what is most important, how do you identify the patterns in the chart? And that is the problem where no Elliott waver can actually tell you very clearly how to do. And that is one of the things I clearly identify in my method, how to identify these patterns and how to know that this is one of those patterns. Because we can, you see, the reason I can tell you this thing has 5 waves in it is because we know what is a wave. It's hard to tell the person how much wave is in this impulse if you don't know what is one wave, how to identify one wave. And very few Elliott wavers could do that. They will just put the count all over the places. They will make a 5-wave where there isn't even a 5-wave because they were told it should have 5 waves. So they put a can like some. You will watch Elliott wavers count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now they're looking for ABC correction. You will see another Elliott waver do this: 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here, and now he's looking for his ABC. All that is nonsense. It's called fixing the charts because the simple reason they're fixing the chart is because they don't have a clue what is a wave in this structure. They can't identify the waves in the structure, and that's the problem. And the good thing is we can do it. I can tell you exactly how many waves you have in that piece on a 5-minute chart, on a 1-minute chart, on a 15-minute chart. And that's the huge difference between what we do and what the rest of the Elliott wavers do. That is why we don't only teach Elliott wave. We teach wave structure. It's different from Elliott wave. Elliott wave is just a part of what we do. What else? 10 out of 10 trades. Out of 10 trades, how consistent of 5 waves? I don't have a clue what you mean by that question. We're not even counting waves here. Yep. Dukas copy. What is Dukas copy? Did somebody ask a question? I'm not sure. If breakouts happen, will that mean immediate price to be a good entry? No. If breakout happens, jumping immediately is a bad idea. You must have a strategy how to trade each breakout. And do you trade EURUSD? Yep, I do. I trade it a lot too. Is your trading course a one-man show? What happens when you might get sick or even worse? Yeah, or die, right? Don't take the course. I want to stay alive. You don't take the course, please. Don't kill me for $2,000. I want to stay alive. It's okay. That's a dumb question. It's a really, really dumb question. I mean, I really, It's the second time somebody asking me that question. It's probably the same person. It's the dumbest thing you're gonna go. Like you're gonna go to a doctor and you're gonna say, Doc, you're gonna be doing this operation on me, right? You're gonna be doing this. I'll be in the operating room. What are the chances you die while you're doing the operation? What happens? Crazy stuff, right? Really, really crazy stuff. And some people are really either they're trolls or they're stupid enough to do that, right? So, I mean, if I die, does it really matter to you that you paid me $2,000 and $2,500 and I die? You're worried about your money. You're not worried about the fact that I die. Come on, my debt is not important to you. Your 2,500 is so important that you paid me, and I die and you didn't manage to get it. It's crazy, right? How crazy can you be to do that? Oh darn, man! Some people have got to be, really. Yeah, it's idiots. It's really. I don't know how. I don't even know how to answer to that, except to say to the person, "You're darn stupid," to say something like that. If I give you $5,000 and you die, what should I do? Kill you for your fight? You're dead already. You don't. The man's value of his life is much more important than your money. You don't go kill him for your money, right? Please, people, come on. I have traders who were with me for 2 years. Thank you guys that you're not killing me as yet for your money. Let's go. Don't take the course. It's simple. You don't take the course. Somebody's asking a question. I understand you don't care about the news, but seeing dollar index Nikkei falling due to the bad China data, wouldn't that drop the US dollar? Not necessarily. Here's what I think. It's not that I don't care about news. Let me get this clear to you guys. I don't trade the news. Right? There's a whole difference between understanding news and trading it. Right? Here is the deal. I don't know how the market will react to any news. Any news event, whether good or bad, I don't know how the market will react to it. There is no statistical data that proves that the market reacts this way or that way to any news event. I challenge you to that. Here is the deal. If I don't know that, I can't trade it. Any trade I do will be after the fact, explaining that, oh, this fell because of that data. This went up because of this data. It's after the fact. So I don't trade after the fact because it's a disadvantage to me. I want to have the advantage in the trade. I want to be in the trade before the news event happens. And when it takes off, I'm in. So the structure helps me to do that. The structure aids me in being in the trade way before the news event happens. And then I am way up in profit when it does move. Because very likely they use those news events to move the trade in the direction it should go. Very, very often. And there is statistical proof of that. That's the difference. It's not that I don't care about news. Yep, the same ID for the whole week. You guys use the same ID. Invite your friends. Come along. Thank you. What is the fee for your course? Let's talk about that at the end of the week. And anyway, the next course, which is starting at the 11th, is filled already. Right? You can join me. You will have access to that course. You will get to listen to the course. You will get the recordings. You'll get everything. But you will not be able to do the practical part. And the practical part is very important. You will do the practical part only after these guys have finished doing their practical, which is in the next course in March or somewhere there. But you can join the group anytime you want. The earlier you join, you better. It's a single fee for the rest of your life. You don't have to pay anything else. Elaborate a little more in silver. Buy it. It's cheap. Not much. You want me to show you the charts? Okay, let's do this because I like silver. So I'll show you silver once more. We're in a sideways move right now. There's a high probability that it will come down. I can't give you control of the chart. So there's a high probability that it is going to come here and come back here, and we may get a drop here. If they break out of this structure, or if they make a corrective structure here, you can buy. If you get a corrective, let me draw that back. If you get a corrective structure within this move here, like here, somewhere in here, let me use yellow. If you get a corrective structure here, you can buy, right, to the top here. And there's a chance they're going to break out to this top. I don't think that is possible. I think the chances are they're going to come back to this low before they go up. So when it gets here, I have some buys in here along this. When it gets to this top here, I will close some of those buys, wait for a pullback, and buy again. If it drops to this level, I'll be buying back at the bottom here again for the up move. Very simple, right? It's not difficult. Let's go to more questions. Can you elaborate on silver? New Zealand CAD, we finished that. You look at it. How much cost do you subscribe to your service? We'll talk about that later. It's not important right now. And you can get that. Skype me, you'll get it. Just add me any questions in the course, please Skype me. My Skype is MANGAL. Let me type my Skype here. Let's not discuss the course here. My Skype is MANGAL 457. Just Skype me and ask for the course, and I'll tell you about it. What else? No, same person. Hi, good broker Dukas. I don't know. I'm using Dukas. I don't know if it's good. That's my investor choice, not mine. Hi, what is your good trade percentage compared to false one, and what are your average pips? You mean win loss ratio? Very well, very good win loss ratio. I haven't counted it because I'm actually looking at the money in my account. The money is growing very well. I'm more than 100%, so I really don't in less than 8 months. I actually have it on YouTube. You can check it. Somebody should post my YouTube link here. One of you guys could copy the YouTube link and post it so that guys could check it. My account is out there. You don't have to, the guy is still in. That person is still insisting that his question is a serious question, whether I'll die or not on his money. Okay, let's just skip him. Maybe you should offer money back if you die. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll come back from the grave and I'll give you back your money. Don't worry. That's a good suggestion for that question again. The next time it's off ask. I'll come back from the grave and pay you. I'm coming to you directly from the grave, so don't worry. I think you'll be very happy to see me. It's crazy stuff. The backup plan, if you want to know like what would happen to you, you'll be in the group. We have a group. We have a trading group. Here's the thing: the trading group is not run by me. It's run by my traders. So that group will exist with or without me. It's already existing with or without me. But you will not have access to that group. You cannot have access to that group unless you take the course because they use the methodology that I have and you don't know it. So it's very simple. But the question itself, the way you ask the question is not a good way to ask question. In the future, you simply don't ask questions like that. You didn't step on my toe. You're an idiot. You don't ask people that if I give you $100 and you die, what would happen to me? Somebody's life is a little more value than money. So you didn't step on my toes. You're just stupid enough. And then you're continuing to spread your stupidity by saying it's a serious question and you step on my toes. I mean, how much more you want to go to realize you're stupid? You want to continue on that line? Come on. Some people, in the first place, just don't come here and just don't take the course. It's simple. That's it. You have lifetime access. I think that says it all. You have lifetime access to the group. So if somebody gets sick, you probably get to take the course 100 times if you want, if it's going to be there. Yeah, it's like crazy stuff. It was going so nice until somebody you have to find somebody who is gonna come in here and say something that will spoil the whole mood, right? Okay, guys, let's go. And just Skype me if you need information that you should make the course more. The idea is to just help traders. It's not based on the money. We trade every day. We have a trading room that works 24/7. So yep, we actually the course doesn't run every day. The course runs in sessions, 6-week sessions, right? Nope, it wasn't a risky trade. Actually, I've been posting that trade for like 4 days and insisting that there is only one direction. If you follow that Euro USD chart where trade where I made that sum of money, it wasn't only in Euro USD. That was only one trade in it. I had about 12 trades open on different charts on that. But if you follow that trade, people were trolling that chart and saying, "Oh, Euro is going to fall. It's going to fall." You have no idea what you're saying. Go back to the Euro USD charts that I post during that period, and you will see them. I think I can actually go and bring them up for you guys. There were trolls in there who were saying this thing is never going to go up. I think was on the 4-hour or the 1-hour chart I keep posting. Let me see if I can bring up those charts where we were looking for buy setups, only buy setups. When I posted this saying it's looking like an ending diagonal, I'm looking for buys, and I reposted this I reposted this about 4 times saying, I'm only looking for a buy. If you go and you read all of this, you will see. And I repost this chart again. And let me see if I can find where I reposted it. I think in the 4-hour. And I said, I'm only looking for a buy. I'm not interested in the sell. It was very clear that I'm not interested in the sell. I don't know if I can find it. Yep. It's breaking. This is the second chart that I posted showing you're only looking for a buy in this chart. There was no option. Everybody saw this? There's no option for a sell. I had no idea. There's no reason. I was never ever going to be looking for a sell. See? By the way, it's working as perfect as you want it, right? You have the up move and you're getting the consolidation now. So we're looking for the next up move. Follow the chart, right? So it has nothing to do with risk. That's not a risky trade. I think that was the safest trade. Okay, let me see if I can see more questions. You can take the course in any account. Your account has nothing to do with the course as long as you have the only criteria for the course is that you have money to trade. The bigger your account, the more you are. Sherman is in here. Sherman is going to tell you. Sherman could tell you guys he has a big account. He actually made his money. He made back $7,000 the week before he started doing the trade. He joined the course. He joined the trading room. He joined us 1 week before he started the course, and within that 1 week he made $7,000. Right? Sherman in the room. Sherman, yep. Sherman is going to tell you he made his money way back. Actually, Sherman is going to send me an extra 3,000. He says he made money in his euro yen, so he's going to send me an extra 3,000. I'm just kidding. I don't need it, right? So yep. That is Sherman. 27,000 the first month. You want to tell me how much I should charge for my course now? So if you have a big account, you're more than welcome. You can send me the bonus a little later. Right, like Sherman says, he's going to send the bonus later. Right. So, guys, it's not. I don't know how it's. I'm not really doing this for the money as it is. The money is important, but I trade and I make money. I just love the group. We have a wonderful group, amazing group, And here's the thing: if I don't train you, you're going to go somewhere and pay somebody to train you, right? So you have a choice. Look at Trading Room. Look at all the people who are doing training courses. Look at their prices. Look at what they offer you. Here's how you know when somebody's offering you hamburgers. When they have packages. Anybody who's packaging knowledge to you is selling you hamburgers. I don't have a package. I either train you to become a trader or I can't train you to become a trader. If I want you to be the best trader, I have to give you the best of my knowledge. How do I package that to you? Basics, advanced, ultra. It's hard to do that. If you have zero knowledge of the market, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create probably later we'll go into creating a set of the things you need to know, some kind of a curriculum that you need to know, and probably have my traders teach you that. But it's not, you wouldn't become a trader with that. You'll be warned that is just understanding the basics of the market. If you want to pay them for their time, which is the only thing you'll be paying them for their time, it's probably going to be a couple $100. That is for their time to teach you the basic stuff of the market before you actually take the course to become a trader. Right? Because there was only one course I can do to make you a trader. And once I take you that course, I either make you a trader or you never become a trader. That's it. So I will do all my best to make you the best trader. That's it. That's how it works, right? There's no packaging in making you a basic trader and an advanced trader and a super trader and a kill room and I could put fancy names to these things. It wouldn't change the fact of what we do. I know people like to put very fancy names to their rooms and you're in this the killing zone and you're in this and you're that. Those are what you call hamburgers. That's what traders do. They sell you hamburgers. They package it. The nicer they package it, the more fancy words they call the room in, the more they charge you for it. They have the platinum package, and then they have the gold package, and then they have the diamond package, and then they have the, if you're buying those packages, you're the dumb person. All the guy has to do is say, I will make you a trader. I will teach you how to trade. That's it. So let's go. When does the course start? Call me for that. Yep. I know how advertisement work. Thank you for that. At least you are confirming to the rest of them that is how advertisement work. right? Thank you, viewer 407. So let them know that once you start packaging that stuff, you can sell it in all forms of packages: gold, diamond, silver, whatever you want. Right? That's advertisement. It has nothing to do with knowledge. What we give you here is knowledge. So okay, guys, 5:36. I've kept you guys more longer than I should have kept you. I want to thank all of you for coming. And if you missed anything in the webinar, you will see it in YouTube. Give me about an hour or so for it to come up, and I'll post it there. Right? Don't forget to like the charts, make your comments, don't troll them. Make comments, but don't troll it. Thank you very much. You're a great bunch of people. So I'll see all of you tomorrow, 8 a.m. London time. Thank you. Bye-bye.